Hammer. Now I can really move things along. Which one?
3.
Number 3. What? Children? Somebody?
We have tools right there.
Where is it?
Yeah,
Like, we have like search like
Oh,
there's like top 5 most programs.
there was tools there?
Just like look at it again. It's right at the bottom, right before all programs.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh. Were you laughing at me?
No.
It said around, well, that makes life much better. So here we go. This was original, this is discount, this is final. So you say this is $50, the final one was $40, discount $10, original percent is 100%. They want the discounted percent or the final percent, the discount percent, right? So there's your, this is your little fraction thing, 50 over 10 equals 100 over what number? 50 times 2 is that, so 10 times 2 is 20. This would have to be 20. 20% discount. That's what it said that you should round. Does that help, Kayleen?
Yeah.
More. Now I'm well on my way here. Ryan,
14.
14. Cycle speed off. This is about Derek. Derek ran 400 meters in 1 minute. Convert Derek's average speed to kilometers per hour. Where did he run into problems with this? 400 meters in 1 minute. You are changing both of these labels to something else. You're changing the meters to kilometers, and you're changing the minutes to hours. So you are going to need 2 unit multipliers. And it doesn't matter which one you do first, just pick. I don't care, I'm going to change minutes to hours. Minutes have to go on top because it's on bottom here, hours on the bottom, there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. I have now changed it into hours. Now I'm going to change meters into kilometers, it's on top so it has to be on bottom down here. There are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So now I've changed it into kilometers, and you just need to do the math. You can cross off 2 zeros, 2 zeros, 1 0, 1 0, and I'm guessing 6 times 4. 24, what's left on top, kilometers, per, what's left on bottom, hours. Yes?
Yeah.
Speed demon. Alex, do you have a question?
Yeah, number 2.
Number 2. Children, number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2, really you could do it like this. And I think maybe this maybe is a better way to do it. You've got triangle, 2 triangles that are similar. You should just be able to do this. Triangle, you could do this. This is the small triangle. This is the big triangle. And then, but you have to keep their sides. You have to keep their sides straight. In other words, when you have similar triangles, I have to compare this side with this side. So you have to kind of come up with some way to, those would both be the 2 short sides, right? So the short side on the small one is 30. The short side on the big one is 50. You got those 2, and we want which one?
AC.
AC.
Yeah.
So you want the hypotenuse, or the longest side. The longest side on the,
It says 54 in the
oh yeah, segment CV, this is 54. Long side on the short one is 54, and you want to know the long side on the big one. So there's your whole fraction, ratio, box, whatever you want to call it. 30 over 54 equals 50 over what number? That doesn't work out, but I would try reducing this. I don't know what goes into this. 3. Divide them both by 3, you get 10 over, what's that? 18, right? So 10 times 5, 18 times 5 is 90. Is that what the answer was? Somebody?
Yeah.
I get it right? And as long as you keep the sides coinciding with each other, you could have done the third one, which was the middle lengths, which would be this one and that one, or whatever. But maybe that's easier to do then. Seriously, Madison Bowman.
One.
21,
One.
Valdez. 1, let's change colors because that's getting around. The scale of a model car is 1 inch equals 1.5 feet. If the model is 9 inches long, how long is the car? Same thing, Madison, you can sit here, draw this little box. Okay, you've got the model and you've got the actual. Okay. Well, actually, yeah, model is 1 inch, actual is 1.5 feet. Make sure you keep those things right. If this is 9 inches, then how big is the actual gonna be? It's the same spiel. 1 over 9 equals 1.5 over what number? Multiply by 1.5. Multiply 9 times 1.5. And you get 13.5. Is that the answer? And it's in feet. Ratio boxes are your friends, children, at all times. Yes, David?
I was wondering answer for number 11.
Anybody answered number 11? Wait, well, that was the one that we talked about. I said I had something different. Oh, you right. Number 11, I will see. So here it is. Probably, I'm guessing it's wrong. Yeah, obviously. And remember, when you read this, x is greater than -3, so it should have been -3 on this side. Open circle goes all the way to a +2. Colored in circle this way. Book is wrong. You are right.
Yeah.
Alex,
While we're here,
who? I just did.
oh, so it's just that.
It's already solved. You don't have to solve this because the x is by itself. You just put, because this doesn't have an equal sign, it's an open circle at -3. This does have an equal sign, so it's closed circle at 2. And problems get colored in between. If it was an or, it would shoot off in other directions. That's neither here nor proverbially there. It's a good or. Logan? 8? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, write an expression for the perimeter of the rectangle. And the reason they call it the expression is because you're not going to get solid answers. You're not going to get a number, you're going to get a variable term. What is the perimeter? Logan, all the sides added together, correct?
Yes.
So you have x minus 1, we can put this in front, plus another x minus 1 for this side, right? Plus a 2x plus 3, plus another 2x plus 3. You are adding all of those together for the perimeter. How many x's do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's. And the numbers you have, a -1, a -1, a +3, and a +3. So it's +6, -1, -1, which is 4. And that's the expression. Did they ask you for the area of it? The area is the same thing, except it's side times length times width. 2x plus 3 in parentheses times x minus 1. The whole FOIL thing, first term is 2x squared. The outside is a minus 2x. The inside is a plus 3x. Put those two together, minus 2x plus 3x is plus 1x. And the last term, 3 times -1 is -3. That would be the area of whatever it is. Unit squared, inches squared, something squared. Ya voy el comandante. Change of colors. Let's go something new. Green is kind of ugly. Where?
Could you do number 13?
I think I've done 13 already. It was last year, but I can take it. Yeah. Number 13, you definitely have to do it on graph paper. Secondly, what type of equations are these? These are in what form? They are not in standard form. Standard form has x and the y's on the same side. Solve for y is slope-intercept form. Okay, I'll do it over here. So here you go, cool air. This is where this line crosses the x-axis. It crosses the y-axis at -1. So you put a dot there. The slope of the line is whatever number's in front of the x, which there is none, but it's a 1. How do you do a slope of 1? How do you make a fraction out of 1? It's 1 over 1, which means it goes up 1, over 1. Up 1, over 1. Up 1, over 1. So you get a line that looks like this. That's the first one. The second one crosses the y-axis at +3, 1, 2, 3, and has a -1 slope, which means it's the same line except it goes downhill. You can go up or down, it doesn't matter, but it's got to go down this way. So down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1. And it looks to me like it crosses here where x is 2 and y is 1. That's this point where they cross. Where'd you go wrong, Claire, just out of?
I forgot to add the one.
You do it every time. Schwarzkopf.
Actually, remember too, I put the 30 over 50 equals.
It'll work out. There's a couple different ways you can do it. It doesn't have to be this way. As long as you keep your proportions and the same thing on the same thing in the right places, it'll be fine. Did you get the right answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. There's more than one way to set it up proportionately. Schwartz? Since that really wasn't a question.
What?
Your question.
I do 16.
How do I do it or how should you do it? It's really the same question. Same answer. We talked about that. As a matter of fact, it's over on the board. You have to know, first of all, the word of means times. You have to know how to turn that either into a decimal. Anybody have the book, Hey Little Ant? You have to know how to change a percent into a fraction or a decimal. And because this has the fraction 2/3 in it, you can't turn it into a decimal because it's a repeater. So you need to know how to change any percent into a fraction. And I showed you over there, I talked about it. Where was it? Can we take it away? It was right here. Just know that percent means out of 100. So if you take 6 2/3 and put it over 100, you've changed it into a fraction, and that's really easy to work with, is it? No, you just need to simplify it. How do I change this into just a single fraction? Well, you look at this and say, oh, this means 6 2/3 divided by 100. How do I divide by 100? Well, I make this a fraction. I change this to improper. It's 20/3. And I flip and multiply by this, which is 1 over 100. Cross canceling, I end up with a 5 down there. 6 2/3 is 1 over 15 as a fraction. You do all that work. And that's not the answer because now I have to multiply it by 24 to get my real answer. And how many times is, you can reduce them by what, 3? 3 goes into that 5 times, into that 8 times. How many times does 5 go into 8? $1 and, what's that, 30? 60 cents? Did I get that right? Bam, as somebody would say. Is, I don't know if tomorrow's will be that hard. I don't know if it's going to be that. I mean, if this percent was just 10%, it'd be real easy because then you just multiply by 1/10 or 0.1, but it's a hard fraction. And you do have some of the harder fractions there. Somewhere. Emma Willman. 17? After I did all this? 17. Let's erase this. Wow, it can't be any bigger. 3 times x plus 1 minus 2x equals 2. So first step when you solve equations, you gotta simplify both sides as much as you can. You cannot do anything with that 2, but we can do a whole bunch of stuff here. Madison, what do I do? Distributive property, what does that give me for this? 3 times x is, 3 times 1 is, did you say 3? Now what can I do? You can put your two x terms together. What do you get if you have 3x minus 2x's? X. I still have the plus 3 equals 2. Now how do I solve it for x? Subtract the 3, so x equals negative 1. Is that the answer I said? Was I right? Am I right or am I right? Still got that marker smell. Making me nauseous. Any other questions, Alex?
I didn't get that, so you're subtracting.
What part did you get? Did you get the distributive property?
No, after that.
Okay, well you can combine the two x terms. 3x's minus 2x's give me just 1x. I'm still left with this 3. I get equals 2, and then I gotta just move the 3 to the other side by subtracting it over. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. And the x already was by itself, so there's no division required at all. Refer October Lutherfest. Okay, Brian.
Can you do 15?
I don't know. Last time I tried it. Is that on the same section? Up higher? Two number cubes are rolled at the same time. What's the probability that both number cubes will show an even number? So you want probability of an even and an even, which is going to be their probabilities multiplied together. So you have to think about a number cube where your choices are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? How many even numbers are on a number cube? 3 out of the 6, right? So this is 3, 6. It's going to be the same for the second one, which is 3, 6, which is the same as 1/2 times 1/2, which is 1/4. They put them both to happen at the same time. 1 out of 4 times you should get 2 even numbers. Don't let me know if that's not the answer. I already checked. Don't let me know if you're bored, because I can read that just by the way you're looking. Schwartz! Number 18. No, I can't do it buried. Mia, what's the first thing you should do? What's that? Oh yeah, let's assume you've done that, because I've got it here for me. 2/3 x plus 1/2 equals 7/12. How do I solve that for x? Alright, if I subtract 1/2, which is the same as how many 12s? 6 12s, right? Do I have to show you how to do the fraction part of that or not? So 7 12s minus 6 12s is? And now I have 2/3 x equaling 1/12. How do I solve for x when there's a fraction in front? Schwartz? Split and multiply times 3/2. 3 goes into 12 4 times, so I end up with 4 times 2 is 1/8. Don't worry, kids, persevere. There's only another 3 minutes. Please try to stay awake. Atkins?
What was the answer to 4 and 5?
Who?
4 and 5?
Well, since you asked. Answer to 4 seems to be 314 and 5 is 13. Now my eyes are starting to water. Don't worry, I'll survive. Alex?
What the formula was for 4 and 5?
We never talked about them? You can't look them up? It's just me. What is the height of a cone? Oh, the height is cone. What is volume? Volume of a cone is 1/3 what it would be if it's a cylinder. So it's pi times radius times radius. It's the height, the volume of the cone. Oh, times height. Just checking to see if you're listening. And what was the other one, 5? 5 is, what is the slant height of a cone? Well, if you're finding the slant height, it probably means you're gonna have to use the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Do you want me to do that one? Because in order to use that Pythagorean theorem, you are going to have to, sorry, put just that in there. In order to use the Pythagorean theorem, you're going to have to make this a right triangle by splitting it down the middle. And there's my right triangle right here. The height I told you was 12, so that's one side. This radius, which is half that triangle there, is 5. So is there a 5, 12 something triangle? So you know the slant height has to be 13. You might have enough time for one more. Wake up, kiddo. I would have thought that peanut butter that I gave you back would have kept you at least awake. See, that's what happens when you have a lot of sugar. You get a sugar high for a while and then you crash. Now you're crashing. Schwartz. Can I do 7? Dimensions of a cube are doubled. The volume of the enlarged cube is how many times the volume of the original cube? You only have to draw these up, Schwartz. What's my scale factor? If you double something, your scale factor is what? Scale factor equals 2. When you're doing area, what do you do to the scale factor to find the new area? You square it. But I'm not doing area, I'm actually doing volume. When I know the scale factor, what do I do to the, but when I know, the scale factor, what do I do to it to find volume of the new thing? It is the scale factor cubed. So 2 times 2 times 2, it's going to be 8 times bigger. You don't need to do any work, draw anything out. You're just area is scale factor squared, volume is scale factor cubed. We may or may not have time to do one more problem. I don't know if I get as good a feeling about this one as the last one. I focused on the last test of the quarter. Willman? Oh, nothing. Schwartz? Can I do 10? Was that yours too, Kate Brown?
No.
Number 10, I'll do it quickly. Which of the following is a subset of the whole numbers? Which one did you put? Whole numbers are about as small as you can get. What are whole numbers? Whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're not negative numbers because those are the integers. So a subset means every one is the next level below that, which means everything in that level has to be a whole number. And the only one of these is this. Integers have negative numbers in them, whole numbers don't. You want something that goes in, and you should have your little box that I gave you that has all that in there. Okay, Brian? Which one did you want?
I figured out how to do it.
Going once, going twice,